It was 5 years ago tonight when a couple of days of rain turned creeks and streets into raging rivers. Boulder Creek and the Vrain Creek sent water rushing into towns. The flood destroyed homes, took lives, and caused almost $4 billion in damage. Small towns like Lyons and Jamestown, they became islands surrounded by water and cut off. E. coli damaged the drinking water systems in Lyons, making the water undrinkable. Lyons has really come a long way in the 5 years since the floods.
And tonight, Connie Sullivan, the town's mayor, spoke with us about the ongoing recovery.
It was really devastating. I mean, it's a really special community. I'm sure everyone feels that way about their community, but Lyons is small. It's 2,000 people. It's 1.5 square miles. You literally know almost everyone in town. You know, at the house, it was raining, and it had been raining for several days. And then as it started to become obvious this was going to be a significant event, we started getting updates from the town administrator about every 20 to 30 minutes saying, you know, we think the wastewater treatment plant was washed away. It's really bad. This is really, really bad. You know, I'll never forget one other trustee lived in the same neighborhood I did, and he and I went in for a meeting on bikes. We could get through on bikes, but I'll never forget just how dark the town was because there was no electricity. And going over the bridge on a bike, hearing things crash into the bridge that were still coming down the river. The water was just under the bridge. And just thinking, gosh, you know, something could just take this bridge out any minute and we'd be stranded. Coming back in after the town was evacuated was probably one of the hardest times to look at the damage and just, it was hard to think about how in the world are we ever going to put this back together. So if you're local, you know exactly what still needs to be done, and you're still living with a lot of digging and dirt. And we have a saying in Lyons that Lyons has grit, and it has a dual meaning. It's because we've been living with a lot of dust for a long time, but we also have grit because we've really been able to persevere, and it hasn't slowed us down at all in terms of holding our community events and going on with what we do in Lyons as a community.